Welcome back to 9 News at 10:30. As we mentioned earlier in the show, it's been 2 years since Hamas's October 7th attack plunged the region into a devastating war. Today, Israel and Hamas are holding indirect peace talks in Egypt. Joining me today is Brandon Ratner, Senior Director of Jewish Community Relations, Council for Jewish Colorado. Brandon, first off, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's just start with these past 2 years. What have they been like for you personally?
Sure. I think it's been a pretty big trauma for the Jewish community, both in Israel and abroad and here in Colorado as well. The attack of October 7th, on top of the 1,200 people that were murdered and the 250 hostages, 50 of who remain in Gaza, this just opens up a wound that Jewish people have from a history of persecution and isolation, and we're just hoping that a resolution can come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, on that note, let's talk a little bit about where this started 2 years ago and where we are now. How are you feeling about that process?
So I remember waking up 2 years ago. It was actually a Jewish holiday, the same way that it is today, just in kind of utter shock about the depravity of the attacks, the violence of the attacks, and worried about, the corresponding violence that we'd see in the region. I don't think anybody anticipated this war lasting for 2 years and that the hostages would remain in captivity for that entire time. And we just pray every day for their release and for peace for all innocents in the region.
Yeah, there have been obviously a lot of peace talks, even plans that have been developed over this past year, 2 years that have kind of fallen through. Why do you think that is? What makes this situation so complicated?
Sure. I mean, anybody that tells you that they know why things are happening or what's going to happen in the Middle East is looking at a broken crystal ball. So I don't know. I know that there have been a lot of offers extended over the last 2 years. Hamas has been a notoriously difficult negotiating partner. I mean, it's part of their charter to eliminate Israel in its current form. And when you're negotiating with that kind of entity, it's really difficult. I obviously don't know what's happening from a foreign policy perspective. My focus is here on Colorado, and I hope that no matter what happens, it brings peace to the region and brings safety to folks here on the ground.
Yeah, here locally, how has the Jewish community felt in terms of safety recently compared to maybe a year ago when we last touched base with you? How has that changed, and what do you see that looking like moving forward?
Sure. I think there's kind of two factors to talk about. The first is just the actual on-the-ground decrease in safety. Just a week ago, there was an attack in London on the highest holiday of the Jewish year. We obviously saw death here in Boulder this summer and attacks all throughout America in the last few years. So we are extremely worried about our safety, and I also think we're worried about our belonging. I mean, today, just downtown, we have a rally at the Tabor Center that is meant to honor the martyrs of October 7th. And I think that there's a lot of reasonable people on all sides of these issues, but if people are still looking at the Hamas terrorists as martyrs fighting for a righteous cause, it just kind of shows that the deep concerns that we have are really baked in people's understanding of this conflict.
Yeah. Brandon, closing thoughts. What would you like to say to the communities most impacted by this as we kind of move forward from this unfortunate milestone today?
I just want to say that all of them are in my thoughts, whether you're Israeli, Jewish, Palestinian, Muslim, or just affected by the news in the region. I don't think anybody in any community wants to see death and destruction. And I think that for everybody else, I just hope that we're able to have a nuanced conversation, avoid overly simplistic narratives, and kind of do the hard work of recovering and coming together after this war hopefully ends.
Brandon Ratner with Jewish Colorado, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.